Welcome back to Coast. I'm Ling live in West Point at the West Point Cybersecurity Summit. We have an exclusive interview with Homeland Security Secretary Jay Johnson. Secretary, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me, Joe.
Today at this conference, a lot of focus has been on cyber terrorism and the cyber threat. We know that ISIS continues to be able to move forward in some of its ability to dominate online and cyber terror and social media as well. How do you keep us safe online from ISIS?
Well, through a lot of different things. First of all, it's critical that we counter ISIL's efforts online, on social media, on the internet to recruit and inspire people in the homeland. We've been very involved, just since I've been secretary, in what we refer to as our CVE efforts, countering violent extremism here at home, encouraging community leaders to counter that message on social media, encouraging tech companies to support that effort and the like. And then, of course, there's always the straight cybersecurity mission that we have to protect cybersecurity, whether it's in the private sector, the .gov world, the .mil world, to ensure that our systems are secure, to raise the awareness of those who use the system.
Now, DHS mission is to protect from both material and cyber threats. But at the same time, the FBI just went out and reportedly purchased a way to hack into the San Bernardino iPhone. And some analysts say that that could actually be purchasing a way of cyber attacking. What do you think about that? Do you agree that essentially that purchase may have been a little questionable?
Well, I wouldn't characterize myself as a technical expert, but I do believe that our systems are secure. I believe that our ability to communicate is as secure this month as it was last month. There's a lot of cybersecurity around how we communicate, how we use cell phones and the like, and that continues. What the case highlights, though, is the issue with encryption. We have a lot of time we're spending in Washington talking about encryption these days. In response to demands in the marketplace, there's more and more encryption, there's more and more cybersecurity around your ability to communicate with me. That has pushed the pendulum pretty far in one direction, where it makes it harder for our law enforcement to detect possible terrorist plots, to detect crime. And so this is a topic, it's a difficult subject that we're wrestling with right now in Washington. And I think that there is a solution to this that strikes the right balance between cybersecurity and our law enforcement national security needs.
But the FBI, essentially, what you're saying, it was correct in going out and purchasing a way to get into the phone.
Well, the FBI has a law enforcement mission. It's a valid law enforcement mission. And we generally do have cooperation with the tech sector and others in our law enforcement counterterrorism efforts.
You have been critical of the Republican candidates in some of their terrorism and immigration strategies. Donald Trump is getting very close to winning the Republican nomination in number of delegates. What is your position on where the rhetoric is going in this campaign as it affects national security?
Well, I generally have not commented on the rhetoric in political campaigns, what the candidates have been saying. What I have said, and what I'll repeat, is that there are, I knew that was going to happen just as we're talking here.
Yeah.
Here we are in the Hudson Valley, but generally we need to build bridges to the American Muslim communities, and efforts, rhetoric to vilify, to isolate American Muslim communities are counter to our Homeland Security and national security missions. So I've spoken out about that.
And some developing news today, a final question for you. U.S. Border Patrol says that there are more unaccompanied minors approaching and at the southern U.S. border. What is your plan to deal with that increasing pressure in that situation there right now?
Well, we've built additional capability over the last 2 years on the southwest border, more surveillance, more resources, more people. We have done what we refer to as interior enforcement, where we're sending people back. We're sending people back to Central America. It's something like 16 to 15 flights a week. The numbers are going up in the typical seasonal increase, but we're going to be pretty aggressive in responding to it, and we have been.
And a final yes or no question for you. Is there an imminent material threat on the United States right now?
I would say no, but we are vigilant in tracking potential threats and the like. There are a lot of Homeland Security law enforcement officials working overtime in this general environment to keep the American public safe.
Secretary Jay Johnson, Homeland Security, thank you so much for being with us today on Fox Business.
Thank you.